Hello and welcome to the daily English news program in Azərbaycan Television with the most important events of the day. I'm your host, İlham. On November 17th, President of the Russian Federation Vladimir Putin made a phone call to President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham. During the phone conversations, heads of state discussed issues of cooperation in economy, trade and energy spheres. President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, Ilham, has received a delegation which includes officials of the European Union and a number of Eastern Partnership member states, led by Special Envoy of the European Union for the Eastern Partnership, Dirk Schubel.
Welcoming the guests, President Ilham noted that the meeting with such a big delegation indicated a large number of issues to be discussed. Thanking for the meeting, Dirk Schubel, Special Envoy of the European Union for the Eastern Partnership, introduced the members of the delegation to the head of state, noted that he had repeatedly visited our country in his previous capacities, and said that all of them were appointed special representatives for the implementation of the Eastern Partnership, possibly its renewal and modernization in connection with the need for new ideas and approaches in the current geopolitical situations, and added that they wanted to know the opinion of the President of Azerbaijan from this point of view, including what can be done in the field of cooperation with our country. Informing that the day before they visited Armenia and the Armenian side also expressed their interest in achieving peace, the guests said that they can contribute to sustainable peace, moving towards the prosperity of the South Caucasus region together with neighboring countries. Referring to bilateral issues, Dirk Schubel noted the need to give impetus to the signing of the agreement and stressed the readiness to listen to the ideas and proposals of the head of the Azerbaijani state. Stressing that the content of cooperation between Azerbaijan and the European Union is quite broad, President Ilham Aliyev expressed satisfaction with the level of cooperation in various fields, recalled that Azerbaijan strongly supported the Eastern Partnership from the very beginning of this program and actively participated in various events, including summits, and further added the need for modernization. Stressing that Baku's foreign policy is based on pragmatism and is purposeful, the head of state said that the main goal was to restore the territorial integrity of Azerbaijan, and this had been achieved 2 years ago. President Ilham Aliyev spoke about the interaction with the EU member states, touched upon the details of the preparation of the agreement with the EU and energy development projects and its diversification. Touching on the visit of the delegation to Armenia, the head of state stressed that Baku had heard messages of peace from the Armenian leadership throughout the years of occupation, but they were not sincere. Therefore, the conflict had to be resolved by force and then by political means. Now, when they talk about peace, I think it's a kind of manipulation, because if they really wanted peace, they would have responded to our proposal. It was us who made a proposal to start negotiations on peace agreement right after the war ended, President Ilham Aliyev said, and called it a rarity in the world history when a country whose territory had been under occupation for many years restores justice by force, drives out the enemy, and after victory offers peace. Recalling the proposed 5 principles and that it was Azerbaijan that proposed the creation of a delimitation commission and seeks to determine the basis for the normalization of relations, the head of state said that Armenia was very hesitant at the initial stage of this process, and now they're talking about peace, but we do not understand what the peace means to them. Noting that Azerbaijan's position is very clear, and this was discussed many times publicly and during contacts with the leadership of the European Commission, the leaders of the countries participating in the normalization process, that is the United States and Russia, President Ilham Aliyev recalled yesterday's telephone conversation with Secretary of State of the U.S., Antony Blinken. Noting that the statements from Armenia are very contradictory, they talk about the recognition of our territory and sovereignty. They not only speak, but also sign it in Prague and Sochi, which means the sovereignty of our entire territory. At the same time, they want to include issues related to the Armenian minority in Azerbaijan in the peace agreement. It will not work, it is not possible, and we will not agree on that. Therefore, we need to have a very clear position from the Armenian government about the agenda, the head of the Azerbaijani state said, emphasizing the need to assess Yerevan's actions not with words but with steps, since their words contradict with the actions or plans, and a country that wants peace should abandon very dangerous rhetoric. Recalling that Armenian officials have recently compared Azerbaijan to ISIS and Al-Qaeda, President Ilham Aliyev said that the Armenians themselves acted as these terrorist groups. They carried out terrorist attacks. They committed genocide. They blew up mosques, not us, the head of state added. During the meeting, the development of relations between Azerbaijan and the European Union, the role of Azerbaijan in the energy security of Europe, issues of cooperation in the field of transport and communications were discussed. It was emphasized that our country is a regional transport and logistics hub. During the conversation, an exchange of views took place on the normalization of relations between Armenia and Azerbaijan and the signing of a peace agreement, delimitation of borders, regional security, and other issues of mutual interest.
On November 17th, Azerbaijan marks the National Revival Day. Hundreds of thousands of Azerbaijanis started an indefinite rally on Azadlık Square against the anti-Azerbaijani policy of the USSR on November 17, 1988. By the end of the 80s, when the Soviet Union began to grow weak, the empire's policy of discrimination against the peoples, especially the people of Azerbaijan, took on a harsh character. With the support of the Gorbachev government, the Armenians launched unfair territorial claims against Azerbaijan in Nagorno-Karabakh. The atrocities committed by the Armenians in Tophana, the murder of our compatriots in Aghdam, the deportation of the Azerbaijani population from Armenia gave rise to a national movement in Baku. National movement, which began on today's Azadlık Square, continued until December 4th. For the third year now, our people have been celebrating National Revival Day with a great victory. The political successor of the great leader Heydar Aliyev, President Commander-in-Chief Ilham Aliyev, put an end to the biggest problem of Azerbaijan on the eve of the Revival Day. Under his leadership, the powerful Azerbaijani army he created liberated our lands from Armenian occupation after almost 30 years. The commander-in-chief, with his unprecedented victory, not only liberated our lands from the enemy, but also restored the national pride of our people. First Vice President of Azerbaijan, Mehriban Aliyeva, shared a photo on her official Instagram page on 17th of November, National Revival Day. Discussions on the state budget for 2023 are ongoing in Milli Meclis. On November 17th, at the plenary session, the draft was submitted for discussion in the second reading. It should be noted that the budget package includes bills on the subsistence minimum, on the threshold of the need criterion, on the budgets of the State Social Protection Fund and the Unemployment Insurance Fund, as well as the cost estimates of the Milli Meclis and the accounts chamber for the next year. Both revenues and expenditures of the state budget for the next year are estimated at a record level, 30,700 million and 33,300 million monets respectively. The priorities of the state budget are related to social protection, education, restoration of the territories liberated from occupation, and the implementation of the Great Return Program, strengthening the national security and defense potential of the country, and further improving the material and technical support of the armed forces. 60% of the funds allocated to achieve the goals within the framework of the social and economic development strategy in the amount of 5,244 million monets will be directed to reconstruction and restoration works in Karabakh and eastern Zangezur. An official reception and concert program dedicated to victory, state flag, constitution and national revival days was organized in Bern, the capital of Switzerland. The Embassy of the Republic of Azerbaijan and the Swiss Confederation reported. The event was attended by high-ranking Swiss officials, representatives of diplomatic corps as well as diaspora, public and media representatives. Ambassador Fuat Iskendarov spoke in detail about the historical significance of these holidays of the Republic of Azerbaijan, in particular about the restoration and reconstruction work being carried out in the liberated territories after the victory and the progress of peace talks. It was emphasized that Azerbaijan's commitment to peace and reconstruction processes facilitates a stable and secure development of the South Caucasus, making the region a space that connects Europe and Asia with strong threads. After the official part, the event continued with a concert program. That was all for the day. Thank you for being with us and see you next time.